Alright, how's it going everybody? Welcome to Face the Music's beginning bass lesson. My name is Patrick, and today we're going to be talking about some of the beginning information for your bass playing career. We're just walking through the basic stuff today, so if you're looking for crazy high-tech bass technique, this is probably not the video for you. But if you're just starting out and you want some help getting your feet under you, some head start maybe before your first lesson, this is the video you're going to want to watch. So, like I said, we're going to go through just the very basic stuff just to get you started, and you can go on from there. The first thing we want to do is talk a little bit about how to hold the bass. You want to rest the instrument on your right leg, obviously if you're a right-handed player. If you're a left-handed player, just flip all the lefts and rights. Okay? The bass rests up against you. You want to sit up straight. You don't want to slouch over. You don't kind of lean into it or anything like that. You want to be sitting up. Let the bass rest against you and have the neck angled towards the ceiling a little bit. You want to angle the neck up because that's going to help you stretch. That helps what's called your reach, which is the number of frets you can play at any one given moment. You want to have a 4-fret reach, which means each finger on your left hand can comfortably play the fret in the correct space without you having to move your hand back and forth. Okay? And angling the neck towards the ceiling helps you do that. It's the kind of thing you see classical guitar players sit with the guitar angled towards the ceiling. It's the same idea. It's to help you stretch. Not the guitar and bass are the same thing. So the first thing we're going to do is focus on your right hand, because your right hand is a little more engaged on the bass than it is on the guitar when you're first starting out. So before we get going, and before we start playing anything, we want to talk about just a little bit of the terminology, what things are called, so that when I tell you to play a certain note on a certain string, you know what I'm talking about. The bass has 4 strings. A standard bass has 4 strings. There are 5 and 6 and 8 and 12 string basses, but for the time being, we're going to assume that you don't have string envy and you're playing a 4-string bass, which is the standard. From lowest to highest, every string is tuned to a particular note, and that note names the string. So, from the bottom, the lowest note, to the top, the highest note, we have E, A, D, and G. Okay? So the 4 strings of the bass are actually tuned to the same intervals as the bottom 4 strings on a guitar. It's just a full octave lower. Okay? So your bass is tuned to perfect fourths. You don't necessarily need to know what that means, but it's a little handy piece of information for you to throw around. And one more time, it goes E, A, D, G. Okay? Make sure you know that before you get going, because, like I said, those notes name the strings. So this would be the E string, this would be the A string, this would be the D string, and this would be the G string. G string, get it? The G string. Grow up. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do, like I said, is focus on your right hand, and the 2 fingers on your right hand that you use to voice the string, you use your index and your middle finger. You don't typically use your ring or your pinky unless you're playing like a trill or some kind of run or something like that. Alright, so we're going to start out focusing on your first 2 fingers. Alright, and the motion that you want to use to voice the string should be really gentle. It's just the very tip of your finger coming across the top of the string. Alright, and then your finger just comes to rest on your thumb if you're playing on the low E string. If you're playing on any of the other 3 strings, your finger is going to come to rest on the string below the one you're playing. So for example, if I'm playing the A string, once I'm done with that stroke, my first finger should end up resting against the E string. Okay? Alright, same thing with your first and second finger. Okay? So the first exercise we're going to do is just to build up some dexterity in those 2 fingers. And we're gonna alternate first, second, all the way up the strings. Okay? So it's a 4-note phrase that we're going to play. We're going to do each open string, and when I say open string, it's just the string played by itself without any fingers on your left hand. Okay? So, like I said, we're going to play each open string 2 times on each finger. We're going to alternate. Alright? So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, A. 1, 2, 3, 4, D. 1, 2, 3, 4, G. 1, 2, 3, 4, D. 1, 2, 3, 4, A. 1, 2, 3, 4, E. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Okay? All the way up, all the way back down, alternating your first and your second finger. And you want to make sure that you're staying on top of your rhythm. Rhythm is very important for the bass, more so than for the guitar when you're first starting out. Like I said at the beginning, the bass is a rhythm instrument. Your job is to lock in with the drums and really lay the foundation for the groove. Okay, so you have to be really aware of tempo and speed and rhythm at the very beginning. It's really important that you're staying on top of that. So for your left hand, the first thing we're going to do is this climbing exercise where we're going to play 4 notes, the 4 notes in a position, and position on the bass means a run of 4 frets. Okay? And each finger has 1 fret that it plays. Okay? So we're going to do this, we're going to start off in 5th position because the frets are a little closer together. If we're in 1st position, the stretch is really extreme. So to make things a little bit easier on you at the very beginning, we'll start off in 5th position. Okay, which means your first finger plays the 5th fret. The lowest fret names the position, by the way. And we're just going to climb up 1 fret at a time, 1 finger at a time. So we're going to go 5, 6, 7, 8. Index, middle, ring, pinky. Okay? And I'm hitting the string right at the very top of the fret, as close to the fret as I can be, without literally being on top of it. Alright, that's where you're going to find the most accurate tone. Okay? If you back off of the fret too much, you're going to get that buzzing and rattling sound, and your tone's going to sound kind of awful. So, stay tight to the frets, but again, not so close that you're literally on top of them, you'll lose the note there as well. Okay? So, every finger is staying nice and tight to the fret. I'm stretched out with my fingers, but I'm not overextended. Okay? Don't hold extra tension in your hands when you're doing this. You still want to be relaxed. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you watch my right hand, I'm alternating my fingers as I'm doing this. Okay? So for my right hand, first, second, first, second. Alright? When you run out of fingers, go up to the A string and just keep going. Stay in the same position, but move to the next string. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. When you get to the top, roll it back down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's pretty much it. And just keep running that exercise until you feel like you've got some coordination built up between your left and your right hand. You're synchronized. You don't want there to be any lag between your finger hitting the string in your left hand and your finger hitting the string in your right hand.